Today I'm with Nita Roschanzamir. She's a caseworker working with survivors of child sexual assault. She did her bachelor's of psychology and honors at UNSW. Hello, Nita. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Denise. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So Nita, can you describe a little bit about what you do in your job?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a case manager and I work with adult survivors of child sexual assault and specifically with male survivors. So it's quite a niche area, I would say. I guess in terms of what I do in my day-to-day work, it's, I guess, a lot of just talking to the guys, hearing their story, and doing a bit of an assessment of kind of what support they may need. So this can be not just psychological, but legal, social, economic, or financial support. So I guess the best thing that we do is we connect guys with legal support, and they can look at their options for justice in the criminal justice system in Australia, and also financial compensation for what they've been through.
So it sounds to me like this is essentially a social work job. Is that right?
Precisely, yeah.
So Nita, I imagine that even if you don't technically need an honors degree in psychology to get the role that you have, that having done all of your psychology study is really helpful in this role. I'm wondering how has studied psychology helped you in the role that you have now?
Yeah. It's, in a nutshell, I think it's made me a more compassionate and non-judgmental person. So for example, in my specific role, I work with a lot of guys who obviously are survivors of child sexual assault, but also, for example, have had a history of criminal behavior. And I guess studying psychology has made me realize that person acted in that way because of their trauma, because it's an impact of their trauma, because they were disadvantaged by their experiences, and that it impacted their ability to emotionally regulate, to be able to cope with life's challenges without drugs and alcohol or externalizing disorders and stuff like that.
So Nita, did you know that this was the kind of work that you wanted to do when you started studying psychology?
No, not at all. Not at all. When I started my degree in psychology, I really just thought okay, I'm 100% going to become a clinical psychologist. I'm going to do my PhD. This is what I'm going to do. And I guess I just wanted to get a feel of if I really enjoyed clinical work and if this was the right thing for me, or if I liked research more, or was there something else that I really liked? And I guess you really just don't know until you try, because a lot of people just do the degree in psychology and they're like, okay, all I can be is a psychologist or a researcher. And there's so much more you can do.
So you took this job to test out whether you might want to go into clinical psychology. Having done this work now, do you think you might actually want to pursue clinical psychology in the future?
Totally. Totally. It's so funny because right after I graduated, I just thought that there would be some sort of red carpet into the clinical program, or it was just this straight pathway, and you just kind of graduate and then you would walk on into your preferred program and everything would be unicorns and rainbows. And it wasn't like that. It was, if I'm honest, I applied after my year off, I didn't get in. And I remember just how devastated I was. I felt sick, oh my God, what am I going to do? I didn't have a plan B. And then funnily enough, that was the best moment of growth for me, because I, at the time, was seeing a psychologist, still am. But I unpacked why I was so devastated by that. And at the end of it, I just realized it's okay. We're good. It was a disappointment that I didn't get into the program, but I still am staying true to what is important to me. There's so much you can do, and you just have to be a little bit creative about where you can apply your skills, and really reflecting on what you got out of the degree and where you can apply that.
Thank you so much for talking with me today, Nita. That was really interesting and informative, and I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thanks so much.